Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and XRP. So those are three we're going to be going over. Bitcoin right now is currently at 7,587. And what we're getting is a little bit of that reaction that we've been talking about, that reaction bounce. But what we need to see is follow through. And what we're running into now is that 20 EMA, guys. And I want to see today how we respond to it. If we basically just have a big rejection off it and we get pushed down for another lower low, and this was our lower high and it was a weak bounce, or if we're going to continue to make a move and start having candle closes up above that 20 EMA. I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to that. The 20 EMA is very good in this space for tracking this volatile market, and typically when you're in an uptrend, you're going to stay up above it and you're going to get a lot of support off that. You can see even back in here, guys, for the most part we are up above it this entire move here, and then a lot of times in downtrends it will act as strong resistance. So I want you all to pay attention to that. That's going to be in purple today, that moving average. And guys, hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. It's great to be back here with you today. I didn't get to put out a video yesterday. We were back and forth between my parents' house and my wife's parents' house and everything, so it was just busy. But I appreciate you all being here with me today. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and let's dig into this, guys. So one important factor that I've been looking at here and watching is this 0.618, and what we ended up doing was going from our swing low up to our swing high, and we actually broke down through the 0.618, but now we're trading back up above it, not by a ton, but we're up above it. The 0.618 is going to be at 7,235, so that's what I want to see respected. I don't want to start dropping back below that or having candle closes below that. If that is the case, guys, and we start having candle closes below that, the next area I would look at for support is going to be right in that area around, we'll call it 5,938, almost $6,000, and that's going to be where we hit probably 4 or 5 times over here when we broke down through this descending triangle back in 2018. So that's a key spot that I'd be looking at for support if we do end up breaking down through the 0.618. The next stop would be the 0.786, and that's going to be at 5,413. Excuse me, guys, I apologize. I've been getting over a little cold here, so just deal with me today. Bear with me if you can. But what we're looking at here in terms of the candles, and this is the reaction we're looking at. So we had our downtrend here. You can see, guys, overall we've been in an intermediate term, almost a long-term downtrend, having lower highs and lower lows coming in since June. That our high was about June 20th, 21st, and ever since then we've been having these lower highs and lower lows coming in. But right here, this is our reaction move. So this is where volume came back in after we had this big climax of volume selling. Here's where the volume came back in, and now we want to measure this move here. We want to see how far we can get up here and if we're going to come back and back test and challenge this 50-day moving average in pink. We broke down through it. That was around $8,500, and now what I want to see us do is back test that and start having candle closes above it, because we've been working in this channel here, guys, and for the most part, this channel, let me get the Fibonacci off here for us. This channel has been good for us. I mean, you can really see we've been bouncing back and forth. We have a lot of touches in this channel. We are filling up white space in the middle, a lot of touches down here, up here, here. So if we can get this next move, that could put us up around here with a back test of the 50 and the 200 day around $8,600. So that would give us another $1,000 to move. But what we need to see is heavier volume coming in for that, in my opinion. Right now, we do not have the volume for that type of move. We could maybe move up another $200-300 and back test this 20-day EMA in purple, but then I'd want to see what we do with the candle close today, if we can close up above it or if we're going to close below it, guys. It's going to be really important for us. It's something I want to keep your eye on. You know, I like to watch the stochastic RSI. Right now it's at 78 and 59, so there is still more room, and maybe that's enough room there in that to get us back up above that 20-day EMA and have a candle close up above it, because we're not at that 100 and 100 or that 95 and 95, which you see all the time, like back over here. You can see each time we really get up high and overextended there, that may just be enough to get us up here and back test that. So that's what I'm going to be looking at for Bitcoin right now, guys. Just really paying attention to that 20 EMA. That's my emphasis today. I want to see if we can start having candle closes up above it. So guys, that's Bitcoin right now. Just be cautious, be patient, and let's continue to watch and see what type of reaction bounce we get out of here. Just like this here when we had our last climax on volume, when we were selling and we had that reversal, that bullish engulfing candle, we got pushed up almost 40% to the top of the channel here. We're just going to have to see with the days to come what type of bounce we get out of here. I think that's really important for us. So let's move on to Litecoin, and Litecoin is at $48.63 right now. And with Litecoin, guys, it's basically just waiting on Bitcoin. That's one thing I can tell you. As we're looking at these altcoins and everything right now, they're tethered pretty well to Bitcoin. Even the small little reaction moves, Litecoin's doing that as well. XRP's doing it, Bitcoin's doing it. But you can see how we were having these lower highs and lower lows, and we broke out of the trend line. We came up here, we set a higher high than this previous area at around 59, we'll call it $60 there. We broke that, and then Bitcoin dumped. And when Bitcoin dumped, Litecoin ended up going from $65 all the way down to about $42. And that's the importance of learning how to trade, so you don't have to go through those things and deal with, a 20 or 30% loss in the matter of a night or two. That's just how crazy this market is, and you have to, respect the volatility in this market to the upside as well as the downside. But we started to trade up above the 50-day moving average, and now, guys, we have lost it. If we zoom in here, take a look here. So we ended up getting up above it on November 4th, 2019. We had about a week trading up above it. We even had a little higher low down in here. Things were looking good, and then Bitcoin dumped, and we ended up losing. Let's actually do the price range for you. So in terms of the price range, we ended up losing 35%. And guys, that's the power of learning how to trade, so you don't have to deal with those things. And what you even could have done here, this would have been your little short-term uptrend. And when we broke down through that, you can see that's your big fall right there. Start having candle closes below that. And that's what I like to do. I like to play candle closes, with trend lines and support and resistance and all that type of stuff. Bullish candlestick patterns, bearish candlestick patterns. It doesn't matter. It just depends on which way you're trading. If you're going long, if you're going short. But for Litecoin right now, guys, we're just going to see if we can back test this 20 EMA. We have to take these things one step at a time. That's the main thing. And the 20 EMA is going to be around 51.82. So for us to continue this little reaction move out of here, we need to get up above that 51.82 and start having candle closes up above it. And then we'll have to attack that 50-day moving average at 55.70. But right now, this is not the strongest bounce I've ever seen for Litecoin coming out of here. It's still not on the most volume. Our stock for LTC is actually a little better than Bitcoin's, though. We're at 47 and 39, so that's important that we still have more room to run, but we got a lot pressing down on us. Remember, you want to follow the trend, and that's the importance of these moving averages. Whenever you see up here the 20 EMA and the 50 moving average, and you're moving uptrend like that, you can see how they're acting as support. Each time we have a retracement, we bounce off them and we continue to move higher. And what's been happening here is whenever we back test them, just like in here, we end up dropping lower. So guys, moving averages, they're one of the most simple things, but they're extremely valuable to you, and they play as support and resistance and trend following. So say you're doing a 50-day moving average, you take the 50 days from the last 50-day candles, you average them out. That's what's happening on this. And then what you want to do is start looking for when a moving average starts curling up and it's going in an uptrend if you're going long. So you start seeing it go up and you start to have candle closes up above it, just like over here. Do you see how the moving average started to go up? And even on this candle, if you wanted to jump in, you would have been in at $43, and you would have got out when you broke the 50 moving average at $119. And that's taking the meat, the absolute thickness of this trade, and that's what you're looking for. You're not trying to buy the bottom, you're not trying to buy the top, you're trying to have good confirmation, and you have basically these indicators working together and finding confluence together. That's what you want to see, guys. So if you're getting a bullish stock cross or a MACD cross with a bullish candlestick pattern as it's closing up above the 50-day moving average, that's perfect. That's when you'd want to jump in, and then you set your stop loss below that candle and you let it run. And that's the way that I've learned to trade. I used to always try to catch the bottom or sell the top and this and that and stress yourself out about it. Now I'm really just trying to get the big, thick part of the trade. So that's what I'm looking for, guys. And in terms of today, just really look at this 20 EMA and see what type of bounce we end up getting off this. If we see a long wick, like a shooting star candle and a lot of rejection, that's probably going to show that we're going to come down for a lower low. But if we start having candle closes above that, I'd look for us to come up here and tackle that 50-day moving average. And in terms of the lows, guys, if we do start breaking down, we need to see 43.76 hold. That would be an important area for us there. So that's Litecoin, guys. If you like me covering Litecoin, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Then we'll move on to XRP. XRP just fell below 23 cents right now. Get that out of our way. Guys, same deal. We're looking at trends. We're talking about trends. All these today are on the one-day chart. These candles are on the one-day chart. And what we were having was lower highs and lower lows coming in. And then we finally changed this trend, guys. We started to have higher lows up through here as opposed to lower highs. And that's important. When you start to set these higher lows, that starts to build a trend line for you. And this was the trend line we were looking at. And I was talking to you guys about and saying, if we break down through this, as well as the 50-day moving average, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. We're going to lose some percentage gains, and that's what happened, guys. You can see here at this very moment, right in here, we lost the 50-day moving average. We closed below it, and we closed below this trend line. Now take a look at this. I'm trying to teach you people here. For people who are still here, I want to teach you this stuff so you can learn it yourself and you can implement it in your trading. Take a look at what you could have saved yourself. If once you saw a candle close below that 50-day moving average as well as that trend line on significant volume, guys, that's when you know things could get bad. They lost 25% there just from a short-term trend line break. And that's important. You want to save yourself that money. If you don't have capital, you can't be in the game. So capital preservation is number one in this space. It's before having more XRP or more Litecoin or more Bitcoin. The number one thing is capital preservation so that you can have enough money to invest at the right times or to put in and make a trade at the right times. But for XRP here, we were talking about a potential hammer candle. And it ended up almost being more like a long leg doji candle there, guys. There's too much wick on top for it to be a candle, but it did come on a volume climax, on a big volume climax. So that showed there's a lot of bulls and bears changing hands down around that area. And now what we're looking at is this reaction bounce. It's not coming on a ton of volume here, guys, so we're going to have to see if this is just a lower high, and then all of a sudden we're going to come down for a lower low, or if we're going to keep pushing up and challenging this 20 EMA. That's where I really feel like we need to get to, and that's 24.5 cents. And we need to start closing up above that again, guys, because when you look at these moving averages, you can see the river is down right now. It's pressing down upon us, so we have to take them one at a time and start trying to get up above them. And in the short term, if I turn on my 9 EMA there, we're running directly into it right now. So this will be a test for us to see if today we can close up above that and continue this move up, or if we're going to start dropping for a lower low, guys. And if we drop for a lower low, first I'd want to see supported around 21 cents. Then it'd be down around where we wick to about 20 cents. And like I said, to the upside, I want to see 24.5 cents, a candle close up above that. We do have our stock cross down here. We're at 47 and 31, so that does give us some more room to potentially run to that upside and maybe challenge that 24 cents, 24.5 cents, guys. But you have to take this one day at a time. That's the main thing that I can tell you, and you have to take it by the trends. We have to watch the trends, and right now the trend is still down. We ended up making a lower low than where we were here, and that's what was disappointing for us, because we finally got this short-term uptrend started, and then all of a sudden we started breaking back down to the downside, and we made a lower low. And you can see all throughout here, guys, here's a low, here's a lower low, lower low, lower low, and we just set another lower low along with all these lower highs. So the trend has to change. We got to get it to those higher highs and higher lows. I can't overemphasize that enough, guys. I'm a trend trader. I've learned how to do this stuff in terms of looking at the trend and when it changes and really trying to take advantage of that, either to the long side or the short side. But that's what I'm trying to do in this market, really looking at trends, candlestick, bullish candlestick patterns or bearish candlestick patterns, trend lines, Fibonacci, trend line breaks, volume. That's the stuff I'm really trying to look at, and then I'll start throwing in RSIs and stocks and all that type of stuff. So more so what I'm saying, guys, is we're in a downtrend. Just be careful, and we're going to have to see what type of reaction bounce we can get out here. So if you get something from this, you like me covering XRP, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless you all. Have a wonderful Friday.